Hello, my friend. I never know when it starts and it's the weirdest thing ever. YouTube needs like a thing that like, so you can like look at it and know exactly when you're live. I'm like, hello, my friend. How are you? If you are in a place that does daylight savings, did you enjoy your extra hour of sleep? I know I did not get my extra hour of sleep. My body woke up actually an hour earlier than normal. So I've already drank most of my coffee. I just realized I have very little coffee left and I'm quite sad about it. We're drinking a caramel vanilla this morning from, what is it? Green Mountain. I love Green Mountain coffee. Oh my gosh, it's probably my favorite. I remember forever ago, Kristen Game turned me on to the pumpkin spice from Green Mountain. Oh my gosh, there's no better pumpkin spice coffee than Green Mountain's, I swear. All right, anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. What we are here to talk about is actually quite a few things. So the first thing I wanted to do is because I have gotten a ridiculous amount of requests to go over the Tati lawsuit situation. So I know there are a million videos on it. So if you don't want to watch like long form videos about it, we're not going to talk about it for a long time, but I want to just quickly break down what I've read about it. And I tried to not go by, not discrediting drama channels and videos online, but like I'm more likely to trust, like I'm summarizing for you is the one from E! Online, because they have like high-powered lawyers that are going to make sure that they've like read all of this correctly and everything. You know what I mean? So I want to summarize one of those articles for you, and then I have the article listed down below for you. And then also you can always Google it. There's tons of articles now. There's tons of commentary videos, drama videos on it that'll go into more detail. But we're going to just scratch the surface. It's like a 30-page lawsuit, so I'm not going to go into every little detail, so I'm just summarizing the E! Online article. But before we do, very quickly, just want to say good morning and hello to the people that are here live in the collective brain of makeup awesomeness, also known as the people that are here in live chat. They're over here for me. I think they're over there for you if it's showing up. Hopefully YouTube lets live chat show on the replay. I have it set to show, so hopefully it does. All right, my girl Latina is here. Latina and Julio down by the schoolyard. Hello, good to see you. Monica is here. My friend Sorojan is here. So good to see you. Daniela and Sharon and Shannon and Michelle and Alyssa and Marissa Lee is back. Teresa M.O. with her brand new sparkly wrench. Welcome to the Wrench Wench team, Teresa. Happy to have you as one of our moderators. Josephine, good morning to you. Jen Unbox, Tina, Melissa Lynn, Rachel Taylor, Alyssa, Tiana, Joey, and Saucer Jess in the house. And if I did not say good morning to you, good morning to you. Thank you so, so much for being here. Okay, so let's just break this down very quickly. And then I am going to give my commentary on what I'm thinking so far. So basically what's happening is Tati Westbrook, aka Glam Life Guru, and her husband James, not James Charles, her husband James, are being sued by their former business partner who was involved with Halo. His name is Clark Swanson, and what they're being sued for is breach of contract, gross negligence, and fraudulent inducement as it relates to Halo Beauty. That is directly from the lawsuit. Okay, so the allegation is that Clark was in it for 50% and Tati and James are in it for 50%, right? So right before Halo launches, this is the allegation, okay? We don't know this for sure. It's just an allegation, okay? Thank you, Gemma, for joining the Collective Brain Elite. I appreciate you. Okay, so the allegation is just before Halo launches, Clark goes to, Tati and James go to Clark and they're like, dude, we're thinking about doing more than just vitamins. We want to do a lot of stuff. We want to do skincare. We want to do makeup. We want to do fragrances. We want to do all this stuff. So in exchange for you going down your percent, so you'll go down to 33%, you'll go down to a third, Tati gets a third, James gets a third. So that means Tati and James are going to be the majority stakeholders, which makes a huge difference. So it'd be one third, one third, one third. In exchange, all of the Tati merchandise, anything she sells will all be under Halo Beauty, and basically you'll get a cut of it, is what is implied. So he's like, well, you know, they're in conversation, and Tati, according to him, promised that all of her friends would endorse Halo and all of her products, or not necessarily all of her products, but would endorse Halo. So that included, let's see, so allegedly she promised that Jeffrey, Manny, James Charles, and Laura and others would endorse Halo, and that they had all turned down deals specifically with Sugar Bear hair vitamins. Okay, so he agreed and said, okay, I'm going to go down to my 1/3 and it'll all be under Halo. Thank you, Jenna, for joining the Collective Brain Elite. Appreciate you so much. Okay, so when James did his Sugar Bear hair swipe up after Coachella and she freaked out, that allegedly is why. Allegedly, that's why, because it messed up things behind the scenes for her with this deal with Clark, who was her business partner, because she had basically, according to Clark, promised that her friends would not do that. And then James did that. So we don't know what happened. Did Tati even tell James Charles? I'm going to say James Charles. So when I say James, I mean her husband. When I say James Charles, I mean James Charles. So did Tati even tell James Charles, hey, I told my business partner you wouldn't endorse Sugar Bear hair, and then he just did it anyway? I personally, I would doubt it. Like maybe that was a hole that she left open. Possibly. But again, all of this is alleged. We don't know anything. Okay, so Clark also said that he was trying to grow Halo Beauty and that Tati and James stood in the way of that. And one of the things that I read that was not in the eOnline article was that he reached out to Michelle Phan, who owns M Cosmetics, used to own Ipsy, original OG beauty guru, businesswoman extraordinaire, owns Thematic, the music service. Like she's businesswoman extraordinaire, apparently reached out to her to start selling Halo Beauty in China. I don't know. This is all just allegations. Okay, that's not in the eOnline article. Was in another article that I read. Okay, so anyway, let's keep going because I want to break this down as quickly as possible. So he also alleges that Tati and James went behind his back to create Halo Beauty, and that all was went behind his back to create Tati Beauty. And that was all supposed to be under Halo, but they separated off and did the Tati Beauty thing separately. And that he was supposed to get a cut of that. So that's why he's mad, okay? So that means that they breached the contract by not putting Tati Beauty under the Halo umbrella, and that she planned to launch more products under Tati Beauty and not Halo, including fragrances. And apparently they had talked ahead of time that they were going to do these Tati fragrances under Halo Beauty, but now she was talking about doing it under Tati Beauty, so that means he didn't get his cut that he was promised. So this, again, all alleged. All right, so this Clark has requested to take Tati and James to trial to seek damages. Now, this is the new information that just came out last night. So I don't know if anybody's covered this yet. I would imagine somebody has. But in case you haven't seen that, I'm going to read this directly from the eOnline article. It says, a statement from Tati's lawyer. Clark Swanson's lawsuit is meritless. His absurd claim that Tati Westbrook granted him 1/3 of her name, image, and likeness for all time in exchange for a modest initial capital contribution. Did I read that correctly? Yeah. This is an absurd claim. I think my tone was off a little bit as far as the way I read it. Swanson's claim is not only baseless, it is offensive and defies common sense, the lawyer says. He also says this is particularly true given that Swanson has received millions in profit distributions from Halo Beauty, almost exclusively due to the Westbrooks' efforts. Tati and James will vigorously defend this lawsuit and are confident that the truth will come out and they will prevail. All right, that's the situation. So we are 8 minutes in. So I did all that in about 5 minutes. I'm pretty proud of myself. I did all right. Daniel, thank you for joining the Elite. I appreciate you so much. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking it's going to come down to, is what was in writing. What was in writing and what was just said. Because if it was in writing, then there's no way out of it. If it was just verbally said, is there proof of that? I think that's what it's going to come down to. And I think it's really, 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 really important that we let the judicial system do its job and let everybody say their piece in court before we put anybody on the fire. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people, depending on where you are. So if you love Tati, if you hate Tati, some people are going one way or the other. You know, there are people that are saying burn the witch, and there are people that are saying, no, she didn't do anything, she's innocent. And what it comes down to is we just don't know. We don't know, and we're not going to know yet. Sharon says, yes, just let the judge decide. Exactly. Flory says, so he expects to own her for all the lifetime. That doesn't make sense. But this is my question, Flory, was there a contract for a specific amount of time? Because when you enter a business with somebody, I would imagine, I have not personally started a business. My husband started a business, but he did it all on his own. But I would imagine that that's all laid out by the lawyers when you start a business, that, you know, it's for this amount of time. If there's an end to it, that should be in the contract. It shouldn't be just some open-ended, you know, or if it's not in the contract that it ends at a specific time, then it's open-ended. Like, you don't just like cut somebody out just because, oh, well, it's been a year, so therefore your contribution is expired. If you open a business with somebody, they're in that business. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't see like why that's an argument if they started the business together, unless it was specifically built into the contract a specific time when his partnership with them needed to be renewed. That's my thought. Heather says this will take years. It might. Makeup says it's open-ended, but there are clauses re-dissolution. Okay, so that's what needs to be shown in court, and we need lawyers to do that, to talk about all of that and to dissect all of that. Lauren says if there's a court date, will she have to come out of hiding? If she's summoned to court, she will have to show up in court. Absolutely. Let's see. Shadow Cloud says, I'm so confused. I'm sorry if you're confused. If you're confused about something specific, I will try to explain as best I can. We're only going to spend about 4 more minutes on this, and then we're moving on, because there's so many channels that go so deep into this, and I don't want to spend too much time on it. And there's so much we just don't know when it comes down to it. There's so much we just don't know. Taylor, if there was a contract, then this can be settled. Exactly. Cynthia, this will be settled out of court for sure. It'll never go to court, possibly. I mean, we'll just have to see. I mean, you probably have more knowledge on this than I do. Kat says, for the first half of the lawsuit, how in the world can you guarantee other people's support? Unless she had contracts saying that Manny, James, Charles, and Laura would publicly endorse. Exactly. That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if she told Clark that, but never told her friends that. Like, maybe they were just kind of talking behind the scenes, but maybe she never said, hey, like, I'm going to tell my business partner that you're not going to endorse Sugar Bear Hair and you're going to only endorse Halo Beauty. And I think that's weird too, because this is a part that really, now that I'm thinking about it, as a makeup reviewer, would Tati ever endorse a product without ever trying it? Because apparently, allegedly, all of this was happening before Halo even launched. She guaranteed, allegedly, that all of these people would endorse it. But it hadn't even launched yet. So either did she give them samples ahead of time and like got them to try it and they agreed? Or was she saying that they would endorse it without ever trying it just based on good faith? So what does that say about her relationship with these people and what she thought of them, that they would endorse something that they'd never tried just because they're friends with her? Because as a makeup reviewer, that is a big no-no. You don't endorse something that you have never tried, ever. You know? Like, it's one thing to say, hey, my friend Tati came out with these vitamins, you know, I'm so happy for her, great job, Tati. That's one thing. But to endorse, meaning to say, these are great, you should buy them, that's a different thing. You know? And it's against what I've always believed Tati to be, which is somebody that really does thorough makeup reviews, meaning that she's trying them, she is, you know, really thinking about the products and really thinking about the consumer before she recommends something. I don't know. Let's read a couple more comments and then we're going to move on. Cynthia says she probably had lab samples. No, probably, I would imagine, but did she share those lab samples with her friends? That's the question. And again, there's so much we don't know, and all of this is alleged. I could make a lawsuit against, anybody. You can make a lawsuit against anybody, but the thing that is that lawsuits do cost money. So if you are going to make a lawsuit, knowing you're going to be investing this money, you probably have a thought that you're going to win, or else you don't make the lawsuit, because it's going to cost a lot of money in the long run. So, yeah. Angela, I'm sure they had samples. Definitely possible, but we just don't know. Lauren, I think she meant like they would endorse the brand, encourage interaction and excitement rather than the products. But we don't know. But see, endorsing the brand to me says you should buy this. When I endorse, if I tell you, this is O for highlighter, and I endorse this, I think that it's amazing, I think you should buy it. That's different than saying congratulations to Oprah for coming out with this highlighter. I'm not endorsing it then. I'm just telling people about it. So it does make a difference in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to find out. Sorojan, the bad judgment required to assume support like that would be monumental. It's a little hard to believe. Yeah, I agree. I don't know, though. I mean, we don't know. Paul says, but even if the judge makes a decision, it doesn't mean it's right. It just means it wasn't legal. It wasn't illegal. And even there are cases where it's mishandled, she will lose in court, in the court of popular opinion. That's a really good point, Paul. That's really, really good point. I'm going to read that again. But even if the judge makes a decision, it doesn't mean it's right. Because think about all the court cases that you hear about that where people feel like, there's somebody sent to death row that didn't kill anybody, We're never really going to know even after this lawsuit is over. That's a great point, Paul. It just means it wasn't illegal, right? And even their cases are mishandled. She's going to lose in the court of public opinion. And I think it's going to depend, again, whether you want to set her on fire or you want to put her on a pedestal, what you're going to believe, All right, my friends, it is time to move on from this because we have big news, at least to me and my opinion. Ipsy bought Boxycharm. What? I read that and my jaw... Like, if my jaw could have hit the floor, it would have hit the floor. I could not believe. Ipsy bought Boxycharm. What? I mean, talk about a powerhouse move there to have that happen. All right, so, and I want to tell you my opinion on it too. All right, here we go. This is article linked below. Ipsy has agreed to buy Boxycharm Inc., a pairing that will create a combined business worth more than 4.3 million, with more than 4.3 million subscribers and $1 billion in revenue this year, according to the company. Ipsy and Boxycharm will operate as separate brands, so you will still have Ipsy subscriptions, you will still have Boxycharm subscriptions, at least for now. The deal values Boxycharm, which is backed by private investment firm Carp Realty, not Carp Realty, that doesn't make sense. Carp Riley LLC at around $500 million is what they say Boxycharm is worth. That's insane. But it's being paid for mostly in stock. Okay? So it's not like Joseph Martin or Joe Martin is the CEO of Boxycharm. So it's not like they're just saying, hey, Joe, here's $500 million. They're mostly, it's stock price is what they're buying it in. The combined company will go public over the next 18 months. And we know what happens when companies go public. Yeah. Or when companies join companies that are public. Think about the quality loss we've seen when companies are sold to L'Oreal or Estee Lauder, or people get lots of investors like ABH. We see a lot of things change, and it's no longer about the customer, it is about the money and the investors. So I'm hoping that they realize that in order to keep their money and their investors, they need to prioritize the customers. Because, especially in the beauty space, you're not getting away with treating your customers bad. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because this is mostly a social media based business when it comes down to it. People find subscription boxes from the internet. They're not sold in stores. Will they be sold in stores one day with investors? Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. So it says, Joe Martin, Okay, this is about him. Boxycharm's founder will join the board of the new company and continue to lead the brand. The merged company will also launch a new personal care subscription service called Refreshments in a few weeks. So there's a new personal care subscription that's coming out in a few weeks called Refreshments. All right. So that's the summary of the article. These are my feelings about it. All right, another sip of coffee because... So... I know, and I've done live chats about this before. Boxycharm was starting to get a bad reputation for putting crap products in their boxes. Products that just weren't vetted. You know, we had the debacle with that gold moisturizer thing that was the same thing as something that was on Alibaba, allegedly. We had products in Boxycharm, and it's not just Boxycharm, it's other ones as well, that had different ingredient lists when you looked at the ingredient list of what was given in the box versus what was on shelves or sold on their individual website. It was different ingredients, or it was manufactured in a different place, really pissing people off, like really making subscribers angry. And I didn't see that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't see that as much with Ipsy. So I think it was really a smart move to have Ipsy absorb Boxycharm instead of Boxycharm absorbing Ipsy, because I feel like right now Ipsy has a better reputation than Boxycharm does. So I can see that. Well, hopefully they will course correct on those issues, and they'll fix it. Another thing I hope that I see, I know Lisa Sampson is really big into the push to expand these subscription boxes to Canada. So I think hopefully that's going to be a move that they'll be able to do soon, is move, because I believe Boxycharm's available. Is Boxycharm available in Canada? I know Ipsy, the Ipsy Glam Bag is, but not the main one. But expanding to Canada, maybe expanding to the UK or other places of interest. Hopefully that will be available, because I know that there is an interest in other countries for Ipsy and Boxycharm. But I think that it was really smart to absorb Boxycharm into Ipsy, because we'll see what ends up happening as far as the reputation of the brand as a whole. I'm just hoping that they don't end up prioritizing investors in a way that they continue to cut corners the way that Boxycharm was, with putting these brands that are these brand new brands with no history of customer service, no history of quality, potentially buying things off of extreme discount websites and selling them, saying they're worth a ridiculous markup. I mean, the consumers that are buying these boxes, I think, are smarter than that. So I'm hoping they don't try to pull one over. That's my thought. Let's see what your thought is. All right, Donna says, going public means they sell stock to the masses, right? Yes, I believe so. Then they will have outside investors that the company will have to answer to regarding profitability and operating costs, etc., right? Correct. But what they need to be firm on is that they understand the customer base better than the investors do. And I'm hoping that by now, that they all do. These three people that are going to be running. Joe and then the two people from Ipsy. I mean, they've been doing it a long time. Yeah, Angela says Ipsy is a way bigger company than Boxy. I believe that it is. I believe that they're still a larger company. I think you're correct. Michelle, personally, boxes are nothing I spend money on, especially in the current world. Money is better spent on choosing your own products. Yes, absolutely, Michelle. And I think that you are one of many, many people that believe that. And I do think that there's a segment of the population that enjoys the surprise of getting a subscription box, and also the potential value of it, where you're paying maybe $25 for a box, but you're getting over $100 worth of stuff and feeling that. Where if you only like one or two things, that it may be worth it to you. Maybe you can gift the other items. There's all kinds of mindsets when it comes to the subscription box space. Some people feel like, I'm just going to buy what I like and make sure that I like it. Why would I waste my money on it? But there's other almost gambling kinds of, positive internal feelings to getting a subscription box. It's almost like gambling in a way, that you could get something worth way more than what you spent. Like that slot machine. You could end up winning big. So, yeah, I mean, I think it just depends on the individual person, and there's a reason why subscription boxes have lasted that long, and I think it's because of that feeling for a lot of people. That's one of the reasons why I've subscribed to subscription boxes for a long time. Melly says, subscription boxes give me anxiety. Products start piling up faster than I can use them. Absolutely. And Melly, I think that happened when Boxycharm came around, when they started giving those full-size products, because Ipsy was just doing the little glam bag. You had Birchbox. You had a bunch of other ones that they had, smaller items in it where you could go through them a little bit faster. And now, it's all full size. So how fast can you really go through them? And it does get overwhelming. Absolutely. It does. Maggie, I'm one for the surprise and value. I give the stuff I don't want to friends or my daughter. There you go. Yeah, I mean, there's people on both sides. Ginger, the influencers do get the better boxes. I quit watching some of the unboxings because of it. Mine hardly ever looked like theirs. And I think that's something they really, really need to make sure they keep up on and make sure that it's not like that. Because, again, people are smart. You need to, I feel like, especially in the beauty space, I don't know about other spaces. I know the beauty space. I feel like something that really, really, really makes beauty consumers upset is feeling like somebody's pulled one over on them. That is, I mean, I don't think anybody likes that feeling, but I know that that is a huge, what do I want to say? It's like a huge way that people spend their money is when they know that, that something's done in good faith. If they find out that you're trying to pull one over on them, it's why Boxycharm people got so upset about that gold flake thing and the storybook palette, and then there was another palette. People got so upset because they felt like the Boxycharm was pulling one over on them. So with influencers getting better boxes, I think it's the same thing. And it's not fair. It's not right. It's almost false advertising. It could be argued that it's false advertising if influencers are truly getting better boxes than people that are they're just purchasing it. If there's no chance to get that box, that's not okay. My personal experience, I still get Boxycharm and PR, but I don't do full reviews of it. I just do like individual product reviews. Like some of them will show up in favorites and fails, things like that, or I'll use them, show them to you in live chat, things from Boxycharm, but I don't do the full reviews anymore. But when I did, I always had people in the comment section telling me that I got better boxes than everybody else, but I also always got comments of people telling me that I got the exact same thing they did. So who knows what reality is, as far as how many people actually get the same boxes that the influencers get. So I'm curious to know what you think, especially like if you're watching now, watching on the replay, when you watch someone unbox a Boxycharm or an Ipsy or whatever, is it usually similar to what you get or is it different? I'd be really curious to know kind of where the pulse is on that. Marissa says, that happened to me over the summer. Loved every single product in Kathleen Light's Boxycharm. Bought it. Did not get a single product she did. I got all the random unwanted products. And I think I've seen that happening before where this is something they do sometimes with new subscribers is they'll have like products from previous boxes that are excess. And in order to get rid of that excess, they will give that to brand new subscribers because they know they don't have those items. I mean, it's not like they're purposely trying to build you a bad box. It's just they're trying to minimize their losses by giving out the first month, giving out things that have been in previous boxes. I have seen that before. Shelly from Shelly Saves the Day is here. Hello, my friend Shelly. If you need YouTube tips, Instagram tips, Shelly Saves the Day is your place to go. Go check her out. Licorice says people sell the items they don't want on eBay. I see a flood of products after Boxycharm releases. Oh my gosh, absolutely. That's true. And that's actually an option too, is if you don't want to buy a subscription box and you see there's an item in there that you really wanted, chances are you're going to be able to get it at a significant discount resold. I don't know what the deal is as far as the legalities of that. I would imagine it's legal though, because you're just, reselling something that you outright purchased. But, Lindsay says, I wonder how much the price will go up once they go public because it will all be about the money, money, money. Money, 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 money. You wanted me to sing? Now it's your fault. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm super curious to see what's going to happen with Ipsy and Boxycharm. I am a huge fan of the Ipsy events. I go to as many as I possibly can. There was one year, I think I went to 3 or 4 one year. Yeah, I went to New York, I went to San Francisco, I went to Los Angeles, and I went to Toronto all in one year. I love those Ipsy live events because I get to see my friends, I get to meet subscribers, I get to learn things, I get to try new products, I get to meet brands, and they're usually a lot of fun. So I'm curious to see, like, it'll be kind of fun to see Joe at an Ipsy event. I'm like, what's up? If you don't know, I've known Joe for many, many years. So, yeah, I was the actual very first person to review Boxycharm on YouTube. So just for the record, that's my little point. As I was the first person to review Boxycharm on the entire platform. It was a drugstore box, and I got a broken eyeshadow, broken Revlon eyeshadow. I made a huge mess. But I've known Joe, not known Joe, but been in contact with him. I don't know him, let's be honest. But I've been in contact with him for many, many years. It was their second box ever that they sent to me. So, yes, yes, yes. All right. And that's the end of my coffee, and I'm sad. All right, let's go ahead and take a little break. I do have a couple of other little topics to talk to you about that I thought were interesting. So we can go into those, or we can pop topic. It's really up to you all. But let me take a little break and tell you what's on my face today. So everything is PR except for 2 things, and I'll let you know when those 2 things are that are purchased. So this is the M Cosmetics Divine Skies eyeshadow palette, and I've really been enjoying this. I only used the matte shades today, so I just used this shade and this shade, just these 2. Up in the crease. I used those 2 shades, and on top of that, I use this from Ofra all over my lid. This is the shade CFO. It's one of their liquid eyeshadows. Let me make sure I get the name right. Oh, it's not written on here. Yeah, it's not written on here what these are called, but it's one of their liquid eyeshadows called CFO. So I put that all over my lid, and then this is purchased. This I topped over top of that on my lid, and this is by Fenty Beauty, and it's Island Bling. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me swatch these for you so you can see them, because they are just, okay, just gorgeous. Okay. Hold on. We got to swatch them because you have to see these. You have to see them. This Island Bling is a little goopy. I'm just letting you know. I only use this side. It's a little bit goopy, but okay. So there's CFO, and then there's Island Bling. So I topped the Island Bling over top of the CFO all over my lid, and that's how I got this like cool gradient-y kind of thing. All right, I got a brand new towel over here. I don't even know where that came from. I would imagine my husband put it there because I don't think I put it there. All right, and then, yes, so that's what's on my eyes today. On my cheeks today, I use for blush. I've been really loving these Jolie Beauty blushes a lot. This is the shade Rendezvous. It is gorgeous, nice and buildable. What's up? Oh, yeah, nice. Oh, okay, so this... This is my marker for when I stand for What's Up in Makeup. This was the thing that I stood on to make sure I was always in the right place. That's why it's there. That's cute. All right, so this is Rendezvous. It's called a Second Skin Powder Blusher. It can go on super pigmented if you're not careful. You just have to kind of just gently tap in, but once it goes on the cheeks, it blends out really easily. It doesn't get stuck, which I love. And then my highlight today is the Ofra highlighter in Moon Dance, and I was really curious because when I use this, I was like, how close to this is Glazed Donut, which is the Nikki Tutorials one, and this one is just slightly more champagne-y than Glazed Donut. Glazed Donut is very, very, very white, where this one just has a touch of champagne in it, even though it looks white. Just in case you were curious about that. And then on my lips today, oh, and contour is the Fenty Beauty Matchstick in Amber. I left that in my drawer accidentally. And then, and that's purchased. These were PR, that's purchased. This is also purchased. This is the Rare Beauty Liquid Lipstick in Courage. That's what's on my lips today. Topped with a little bit, of course, of my Metamorphosis Lip Trio in Reimagine. I kind of popped that on because it wasn't quite dark enough, so I popped a little bit of that on to adjust it. My 20% off discount code is down below. It's just Jen. It's very easy to remember if you want 20% off on anything on the Ofra website. So, because, you know, I love Ofra. All right, so that is what is on my face today. So let's go ahead and, oh, I have an announcement to make. I almost forgot. Muy importante. Next week, we have an interview. And I'm excited. I'm going to try to make it a little less interviewy and a little more just hanging out and fun. If you didn't see my my hanging out and fun over on Audra at Home's channel, that was so incredibly fun. We just sat there without makeup on and just talked for 2 hours, and it was incredible. So I want to make my interviews a little bit less formal and a little more just hanging out, but I will have some questions prepared for my person. And your first hint is that they are in the same time zone as me, which is East Coast time. So it's going to be at 10 a.m. tomorrow, not tomorrow, next week it's going to be at 10 a.m. And I am so excited because I know so many of you love this person and watch this person religiously. And I am so excited that they said yes. So we'll be hanging out next week and doing live chat that way instead of like the traditional, like the way we've been doing it. It's just going to be an interview with that person. I mean, we can talk about current events and things like that if that person wants to. I will also be leaving some nice little clues over on Twitter over the next few days and revealing who it is later in this coming week. And I'm so excited so that you all can, you can leave some questions for this person. So hopefully by Thursday, you'll know who the person is, but I'm going to be leaving clues just to make it a little more fun. All right, that being said, housekeeping done. Okay, so I've read this and I was like, what? Anastasia Beverly Hills and Hourglass are now on Postmates in Los Angeles. Who asked for that? Who asked? I don't know who asked for that. But I guess like if you're, okay, and also Sephora's on Instacart. I guess if you were doing like meetings from home, you're only Zooming, you're not leaving the house, maybe you're immunocompromised, maybe you have pre-existing conditions, things like that that would make you more susceptible to what's happening in our world, aka COVID, or ignorant people in your neighborhood, I can see why that would be a good option to have things delivered. But the thing is that the delivery fees for these things are astronomical. Like you may pay $6, $12 if you need it immediately for just the delivery fee. So you might as well just order it from the website and have it come to you in a couple days, But I guess it just depends on, I don't know, because if you're getting these services, you probably live in a pretty populated area, and probably your mail isn't that slow. I don't know. I guess it's different depending on where you live. But I was like, really? Like, really? We really need a brow pencil delivered to us right now? I guess if you have a Zoom meeting coming up and you need a brow pencil, like, have it delivered. Call Postmates. I don't know. I just think that it's kind of crazy. Yeah, Tab says these delivery services will bring anything. I know. Isn't that crazy? I don't know. It's insane. I don't get it. Tiandra says, oh, Tiandra made it. I'm so happy you're here. Get some sleep after this, okay? I do Sephora online because of Klarna, but that's convenient in providing jobs. I don't know Klarna. I don't know what that is. Tanya says, not if you get the yearly membership. Ah, so y'all are learning it. Y'all are teaching me all kinds of things. Interesting. Yeah, Audra says Uber delivers booze. I did not realize that. Uber Eats or just Uber? Because I don't want my Uber driver delivering people alcohol. I don't know. I guess if that's what they got to do, deliver alcohol, as long as they're not drinking it, right? Yes. Paul wants me to advocate for people to vote. This is the last weekend before the primary election. I think we all can agree the election is important. Before like the main election, yeah. I voted. My vote is counted. My husband voted. I think that everybody needs to vote. Absolutely. Very, very, very important. And I actually have a link in the video description where you can click and get information on voting in your area. So what am I getting notification for? What is happening? Oh, thank you, Audra. Klarna is like Afterpay. Thanks. Thanks, Audra. This is why you're my friend. Yep, all these people are saying, we voted, we voted, we voted. Yeah, and hopefully, I know there are still some polling places that are open to go early for early voting. It just depends on where you live. But yeah, very, 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 very important to vote. Absolutely. Tiandra says it's $9.99 a month for delivery, Instacart, and $9.99 for DoorDash, as many orders as you want. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we've done DoorDash. I think I've done Uber Eats in New York City, because for the longest time we didn't have Uber Eats in our area, but I did it in New York City when I was staying at hotels for Ipsy events, ironically enough, or IMATs. I've done that. So yeah, Lindsay said I did the absentee ballot. Yeah, if you still have your mail-in ballot, do not mail it in. Don't mail it in. You bring it. Go to your polling place and bring it. You can drop it off. Fill it all out. Put it in your little envelope. You know, don't seal it just in case. You know, but bring it over to your polling place and then drop it off. Don't mail it at this point. You want to bring it in. Yes. Ginger says, I live for Teresa's dad's Uber Eats stories. Oh my gosh, they're so good. I'm Teresa. You have to watch. I'm just insane. All right. Yes. Sure. Shinara says, make sure you read your printed ballot. Yes. And make sure you fill it out with the correct pen, because some of them you have to fill it out in a black pen. Really important. Make sure you're following all the directions. Yeah, really, really important. Yes. Lindsay says you can check on your county's election site. Mine is counted as well. Nice. Yes. And I finally got a notification, but I checked my link from when they said that they received it to see that it is counted. So I'm excited. Yeah. Telestra says, or you can surrender it and vote in person. Yeah. Just bring it with you. And then they'll tell you what you can and can't do. So yes, voting, very, very, very important. All right. So moving on to the final thing I want to share with you. Now, this one is maybe really gross for some people, and I'm just warning you ahead of time. But if you find body hair gross, then if you're watching this in the replay, I will put a timestamp for you to skip this part. But it's really funny, so I feel like it's important. And also I think it's going to be, not that it's important, but I want to talk about it because I think that it's funny. And I also think that it'll spark a discussion that I think is interesting. So apparently there is a woman on TikTok that she is trying to make her own homemade eyelashes. And I will let you know when to look away from the screen. If you don't want to see her hairy leg, I will tell you when to look away from the screen, and then I will tell you when you can look back. Okay, but you'll be able to see where she glued her leg hairs onto her eyelid. Her name is Liz Lele, Lizlele. She used her own leg hairs to make false lashes. She said, so I took a nice bath, I soaked my follicles, and I pulled out about 150 hairs, and then I used Duo lash glue to put them right onto my eye. So I'm going to give you 5 seconds, like Audra does, and to look away if you don't want to see her hairy leg and her eyes with the leg hair attached. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so you can see that her left eye has a little bit longer lashes, and that's because she's plucked her leg hairs out and she has put them on her eyeball. All right, I'm going back. Okay, if you didn't want to see it, it's off the screen now. You don't have to worry. I'm not going to put it back on in case you didn't want to see it. But this is what I wanted to spark a debate. I thought this was interesting because really and truly, like, is the leg hair any different than our lashes? Really, it's just hair that grows out of our body, and it's not like it's in like a super like bacteria ridden place. And she said that her leg hair was clean. So is it really that? If you really think about it, like, is this something I would never do this, but is this something you would do? Angie says that there is just wrong. Ew. Lucy says, I'd rather use my hair from a trim. There you go. Yeah, Samantha, creepy and not very dramatic. Yeah, it really wasn't that dramatic, but it did look kind of natural, at least from the photo. Evgenia says, LOL, my leg hair is too long for that. Your leg, it would be like, whoop. Oh my gosh, yeah. Jalissa, weird. Jen, some things you just can't unsee. Well, that's why I gave you a warning in case you didn't want to see it. Erin, I don't get it. Why? Maybe, well, she's trying to save money. Because even the cheap lashes cost money. But then it's only one-time use, I would imagine. Then how are you going to put them back on? Yeah, so like, Be Good says it's gross. Afresh says, okay, my legs be hairier than hers. Oh my gosh. But it's like, yeah, Aimless says, my question is, how long did it take? Yeah, I would imagine that would take a while to glue like each individual lash because it didn't look like she had like a lash band. She was just putting like a little glue dot on the ends of the leg hair and then just sticking it on her eye. And then the thing is too, is they're not going to have the appropriate curl, I would imagine. Like if you saw the picture, her leg hair was relatively straight. So when we put fake lashes on, a lot of times they have a really nice little curl to them. So I would imagine they wouldn't have that curl. And I would imagine you wouldn't be able to use a lash curler with them because it would just rip them right off because they're not really adhered right. I don't know. I thought that was funny. So that's why I wanted to. Yeah, Omniblast says, just spend a few bucks, LMAO. Mary says, is this real life? Sheila, is that safe? I mean, it's different, maybe odd. I don't know. I guess I sound crazy. I wouldn't do it, although the lady did look nice. Lisa Simpson, sincerely LGS that I was talking about earlier, she says, I ran out of a razor a few weeks ago. Girl, my leg hair was longer than lashes. Shaved yesterday, got razors. Hubby gonna divorce me. They're all smooth now. Poor John, is he listening to this? Yes, he is. That's okay. He's fine. He's heard worse things. Yeah, Angie says shop Miche lashes for $1. I think it was probably more like just to see if she could do it. I mean, remember when they were experimenting with different kinds of beauty blenders? I remember when they used their husband's private parts as a beauty blender. They were using all kinds of things as beauty blenders. I think it's just one of those things probably just to do something different and do something funny. I would imagine she wasn't doing it seriously. But who knows? Who knows? Miscellaneous Cell has a great point. It's good for the environment. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Oh my gosh. Oh, Cynthia thinks that it's fake. Jessica says, whose leg hair is that thick? Mine's not. Mine is thin. Well, I did a review a long time ago of a hair removal device, like a home hair laser removal device. So I only did it on one of my legs so that I could see the contrast, and most of my leg hair is gone from that leg, from where I did the treatments. But yeah, mine is definitely not that thick. Melissa says quarantine will make you do it. Yes, I know, right? I know, it's crazy. Yes, Kelly, you don't want to Google it though. Normally I would say Google it. She said people use male genitalia as a beauty. Yes. It was a thing. I don't know how many years ago that was. Was that 2 or 3 years ago maybe? I mean, A guy says, mine is thick AF. Gina, my inner 8-year-old finds this hilarious. See, I find it hilarious too. See, Gina, we were on the same, while I'm getting the unsubscribes, Gina and I are sitting here laughing. All right, that's all I have for you today. So we've got 13 minutes to pop topics, talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. It is your show. I am done. I'm done, and I don't have any more coffee, and I'm sad. But, yeah, Tracy says, just because you can do a thing doesn't mean you should do a thing. I know. I know. Yeah, Niner says, better her own hairs than some nasty false lashes from China. Seems more safe, in my opinion. See, I don't know if I agree with that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I agree with that. I don't agree with that. But, yeah, I don't agree with that. That's where I'm going to leave that. But everyone has a right to their opinion, but I don't agree with that. Beth wants to know Tati versus Without a Crystal Ball. Okay, so Without a Crystal Ball is a drama YouTube channel who was the one that broke the story of the lawsuit. Now, apparently Tati is suing her for defamation. I believe that's the official, I think that's the official suit, because she's made over 40 videos about Tati. And you know, I am all about reporting the truth. You know, when you report the facts that you know, you report whatever it is that you know to be a fact. And then other things, if you don't know it to be a fact, you say allegedly, or this is my opinion. And I think that where Without a Crystal Ball has gone wrong in the past is stating opinion as if it were fact. Saying Tati is, James Westbrook is, instead of saying I believe Tati is, I believe James Westbrook is. And I think that's where she's gone wrong in the past and where she's in trouble. Because even though it is an opinion, she presents it as fact. And that's where we get into trouble. So I am, yeah. So I think that she might be in trouble. I do. But again, we'll see how it plays out in court. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how it's going to play out, but we'll see. Talk about recent change in my channel. Yes, Josephine. So if you did not watch my announcement, I've rebranded to Jen Love from Jen Love's Reviews. I am still doing reviews though. Just know that. Reviews are coming. I actually got my FabFitFun sponsor video is coming. I'll tell you more about why it's going to take a little bit longer. I had to have some things shipped to me again, but we'll talk about it. But yeah, there's definitely still going to be plenty of reviews on the channel. And I do have a new intro coming. It should be, see, I haven't seen the samples yet, but it should be similar to my old intro. It's just going to say Jen Love instead of Jen Love's Reviews, but it's not ready yet. It should be ready, I think, tomorrow or Tuesday. So by the time the next video goes live, it should say Jen Love instead of Jen Love's Reviews in my intro. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm really excited because I want, this is where I'm trying to keep my mindset as far as the channel is. I want to do something like whatever it is. Maybe it's a makeup review, maybe it's this, and then but make it fun. Like I want to that's what I want to be in my mindset. I want to do a live chat, but I want to make it fun. And the way I'm making it fun is by talking about people gluing their leg hairs to their eyeballs. I mean, like that, to me, that's making it fun. Whether to you it does or not, I don't know. Maybe it's crossed the line, but but I just want to have more fun. I feel like I've been so in teacher mode, so in, education mode for so long, and I do still want to teach and educate in ways, but I want to do it in a much more relaxed way. And I'm playing around with different ideas, and What's Up in Makeup next week is going to exist, but it's not going to be the same What's Up in Makeup. And I'm thinking about changing the name, but I haven't decided 100% what I'm going to change it to. But it'll be more focused on top news, and it's going to be at my desk. And we'll talk about some makeup releases, and we'll talk about some top news stories next week. But it's not going to be the formal news show anymore. So... Indigo says, I don't think Without a Crystal Ball will actually be in trouble, but she will have the headache of the lawsuit. Yeah, and we'll just have to see how it plays out. It just depends on what she said and how far that reach was. I didn't realize she had so many subscribers and so many views. I didn't realize that her reach was that far. I thought she was a relatively small channel, which either way, if you're saying something is fact when it's not okay. But I didn't realize she had such a big reach, and I think that in the end is going to hurt her, that she does have such a big reach when we look at how many subscribers she has, how many views, it's going to be views, not subscribers, but how many views she has on the videos and what she said in those videos, and if they can directly correlate that to loss for Tati, then that's going to be some damning evidence, but we'll have to see. But Indigo Blue Beauty, you might be right. You might be right. Evgenia says, it's crazy how Tati turned from the least controversial beauty guru into I'm suing you all person. Yeah, oh my gosh. It's like a 180 from last year. Last year at this time, wasn't that when the Conspiracy Palette launched last year at this time? It's a whole different world, man. It is a whole different world. Yeah, Beatrice says, you scare me with goodbye Jen Love's Reviews for a moment. I am really sorry. Like, I just want to apologize. If I caused you to be upset by that title, I felt like it was representative of what I was going to talk about because I am saying goodbye to Jen Love's Reviews. And, I wanted people to watch it, yeah, but I didn't think it was going to upset people. And I know some people were actually upset, and if you were upset and if I upset you, I want to say that I'm sorry for upsetting you. That was not my intention. So, Heather says she was quoted in the Clark Swanson lawsuit. Really? I did not see that. But I didn't read the whole lawsuit. I just read the article. So... yeah, Tiandra says, I think they should settle out of court, period. Yeah. Heather, she was quoted. Oh, I already got that part. Vicky says, I love the way it's like real news, but makeup related. Yes. What's Up in Makeup was such a wonderful journey for me. I have been doing it since January of 2015. I've been doing What's Up in Makeup, and it was my baby. I mean, and really it was inspired by Emily Noel 83 because I saw that she somehow knew in 2015 about all the newest makeup releases. I'm like, how does this woman know all these new makeup releases? Like, how can I figure out this information and also present it to other people in a helpful way? And that's why What's Up in Makeup was created, was to help people and myself to know what the new makeup releases were so that I would, I'd be able to review them for you. That was, you know, where it started so long ago. So yeah, it was a journey. It was a journey. Anissa, Jen, I'm so excited for you and wish you the best. Looking forward to seeing the new Jen Love. Thank you, Anissa. And I'm telling you, like, the number of encouraging and positive comments on that video, just, I was blown away, like absolutely blown away, like how kind everybody was. I mean, not everybody, of course, but 97% of people were so nice about it, like just really nice. So if you left a comment, thank you so much for leaving those positive comments. Like, it really, excuse me, it really was just warmed my heart. Thank you. And, you know, whatever comment you left, thank you. Because even, I mean, even if it's feedback, and I can kind of put it in my back pocket if it's a negative feedback. Oh, see, Michelle Sparks says, I'm down for whatever you like, hon, here for you. Thank you. And I think that that's, and I've been talking to Audra about this a lot recently too, is that I want more of me in the channel and less of just spouting information. I want it to be more of just us having fun together with makeup, and with skincare, and learning together and just having more fun. Because I think we need more fun right now. The world needs fun. We all need fun. Oh my gosh, we all need fun. Jackie says, is there an alternative place where we could see all of the makeup news? Well, there are lots of really good Instagram pages. Hot Fire Makeup comes to mind. I know a lot of people love Temptalia. My beef with just the way Temptalia posts is sometimes she breaks embargo, and that makes me angry and upset, meaning that she will release photos before the brand is ready. Whether they give her those photos to release early or not, I don't know, but I'm not a fan of releasing images before a brand or person is ready. I know some people have complained about that with her in the past, but she does get out really, you know, a lot of information about new releases. Hot Fire Makeup is my favorite on Instagram. So those would be probably the best sources. And if you're watching the replay and you have another source of where you get that information, you can feel free to leave it in the comments. Yeah, Paul says Tati has a weird pattern of having issues with her friends, James, Shane, Jeffrey, and her now business partner who was her friend. But it's interesting because all of that happened in the last year. She's been on YouTube a long time, and she didn't have issues with friends before that, but she also complained that she didn't have friends in the space. So maybe that was why, you know, she didn't have drama before, is because she didn't try to make friends with anybody before. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Samantha says, I'm so happy that the time change means I can watch you at 8 instead of 7, so I won't miss live chat as much. Aw, well, I'm happy to have you here. We've got about 2 minutes left, and then I'm going to let you go for your weekend. Don't forget to watch What's Up in Makeup today. It is the last one, celebratory What's Up in Makeup. And just a quick shout out to the What's Up in Makeup team for their amazingness, Tabitha B and everybody on the team. I just so appreciate everything that you've done. And there have been so many people on the team from at one point or another, so I just want to thank everybody that's ever worked on it. Just thank you so much. Mel says, Jen, you're my number one. Thank you. So this week I do have favorites and fails coming up, my October favorites and fails, and then I'm working on my FabFitFun review, but the problem is I'm waiting for an item to be reshipped. So yeah, so I'm not sure when that's gonna be up, but I'm gonna get up to as soon as I possibly can. So I'm not sure what the second video is gonna be this week, but I know that favorites and fails is gonna be one of them because I've already filmed it. I filmed it the same day that I filmed my announcement video. Yeah, Susan says it is interesting how the LA YouTubers seem inherently more dramatic. And I think that from what I've heard, I've never lived in Los Angeles, I've only visited, is that just the vibe of the town is very cutthroat and social climbing. And that's just what people do there. So it's just kind of the vibe of the whole city. So it doesn't surprise me that the people that live in LA seem to have a little bit more of that kind of behavior. So, yeah. Flory says, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you so much, Flory, for that. I appreciate you. Thank you. Sheila says, thank you for the recommendation on the IKEA. I plan on getting some to organize my makeup. It's greatly appreciated. You are very welcome. I love my IKEA furniture. It works great. I've heard terrible things about some IKEA furniture being like super cheap and low quality, but this stuff's great. I have links to it down in the video description to the Alex drawers, and that's just the tabletop. But pretty much this whole section is all IKEA. Tiandra says, you look so beautiful today, always, but today especially. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Maybe it's my loss of 5 pounds. Maybe that's it too. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. But I seem to when I'm at this weight, I always seem to get more compliments. I don't know if that's like a thing. I don't know. I don't really care either way, but thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So yeah, This Pretty Little Life. Hello. I remember Bailey Sarian did a whole video on that. She said it was awful in LA. Yes. And I remember talking to Bailey about that years ago when I did a collab with her. She was telling me how awful it was in LA as far as all of that. That was before she did Murder Mystery Makeup. And she was just saying that just, it's so awful there with that kind of stuff. All right. I got to go and I got to let you go. I hope you had a good Halloween, a good safe Halloween yesterday if you celebrate. And if you have not voted yet and you are in the United States, please make a plan to go vote. Again, link is in the video description. You can click on that and it will tell you. It is, I believe, a Michelle Obama's corporation, or her organization, but it doesn't matter where your political leanings are. You can find out information about where to vote from there if you like. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Mad love to you. Have a great week. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you for our interview 10 a.m. next week. Got favorites and fails next week. Yes! All right. Have a great week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye!